Okay, welcome back to the E-Managerial website. I'm Professor San. Today I wish to share with you uh, what is a robust control that we can prevent the password compromise from the malicious attacker. So I define in 20s robust control that can prevent and protect from the malicious attack. So number one is make sure that you put the password with the complexities or require the password length start from 8 to 16 alpha numeric or non-alpha numeric with a combination of the upper and lower case letter plus number and plus symbol. This is the best practice that the password management policy or the rule that require the IT security to oversee on the password complexity or length of the password. So the password you need to identify what is a system type. It can be application level, database level, operating system level, or network device firmware level. So when you come up with the password length, you need to identify what is a critical system and what is a necessary system and what is an important system. So when you identify the system type, so you need to come up what is appropriate password length should be applied for those systems. So the control number two ensure that the application either store the password to the memory nor write them to the disk in the clear text. This is involvement with the application that the developer need to identify what is a risk that store or cache the password in the clear text. So the control number three, use the random string sol as a prefix or suffix with a password before encrypting. So this is the system development method that require the developer how to play smart with the password handling. Ensure that we need to put the strong password mechanism before we transmit the data. So all passwords need to be encrypted before transmit the packet communication over the corporate network. So the control number four is IT security need to enable sys key with a strong password protection to encrypt and protect the same database. So the control number five is never use password such as that and term, spouse, child or pet name or teammate. So whatever involve the password guess that attacker or malicious user can guess your password easily. So the control number six is monitor the server log for the brute force attack on the user account. This is a risk monitoring process that the IT security need to review the system log or security log as a regularly basis. Can be daily, can be weekly, can be fortnightly up on the criticality, up on the system criticalities categorization. So the number seven, log out an account subject to too many incorrect password guess, meaning that involved with the section timeout or the threshold for particular access from the particular source of access. So the system administrator need to identify the section timeout on the access in case of the unsuccessfully attempt login. Failure can be 3 times or 2 times, limitation up on your concern area. So the control number 8 is enable information security audit to monitor and track the password attack. This is a mechanism that IT security need to play smart on how to monitor the password access from the user to identify what is a suspicious event and need to report to the immediate supervisor in case of the suspicious. So the control number 9, do not use the same password during the password change. So the password rule need to tighten what is a historical or password change. So the system need to reinforce or need to restrict that did not allow the business user or staff to reuse the password during the password change process. So the control number 10 is do not share the password even your beloved one. It means that the password rule used only individually, could not share to anyone, even your supervisor, even your spouse, even your sister or brother, even your parent could not share. So the control number 11, do not use the password that can be found in the dictionary. So attacker can use the password dictionary attack to scan whatever that the password can readable, or it means that the word that are contained in the dictionary. This is the vulnerability of the password that set by the user or staff. So the requirement, we need to make sure the password could not found in the dictionary. So the control number 12, do not use the clear text protocol or protocol with weak encryption. So make sure that network infrastructure or the system related matter need to apply the latest and best practice or standard or encryption, or we can say the cryptography, to ensure that the data or package are fully encrypted before execution or before transmission over the corporate network. So the control number 13, set the password change policy, it means the password age, to only 30 days or less than upon the identify critical system. This is the area that most organizations need to open the chance of fraudulent activity. Sometimes they allow the expiry of the password age until 120 days or 90 days is too long. So we need to reduce the interval of the password expiry. So the next control is avoid storing password in an unsecure location. This is the area that most likely incurred by the staff or negligent staff, that the custodian did not emphasize on the documentation that present the password or present the PIN or PIN generation code. They put in the table and they away on the desk and go to the lunch time. So the fraudster or malicious user can take the document to go through what is a password store. Or we can say another scenario, the engineer can keep the critical password on their personal device or laptop or smartphone when the device was stolen or less unattended, so the unauthorized person can access those information. This is a very common lapses. So the next control is do not use any system default password. So whenever you initially set up the system or deploy the new network device, so you make sure that all network device system need to be applied the security appliance or security hardening to ensure that the security mechanism or security appliance are fulfilled or in place. So the next control is to provide regular training and awareness on the password rule. Also, it applies. So we need to incorporate into the awareness program and provide specifically to the business user to understand what is a risk involved with the password rule or with the password setting. So the next control is use the standard password threshold security setting on all systems being accessed by the user. So whenever you come up with the system or module incorporation into the system, so you need to identify what is a lapses that can compromise by attacker. So you need use the standard password threshold security to apply for all system related method. So the next control is use automate password resetting or maintenance system to manage all authenticity. So this is a mechanism that the system apply the automate security reinforcement to ensure that the client or terminal are apply with the password rule to ensure that the section can be manageable. So the next control is the password should use the two-factor authentication from other area. For example, you access to the critical system. So the system need to require the two-factor authentication, such as an e-token device or smart card or one-time password, something like that, to ensure that one custodian could not access the system. So we need to make her and checker and authorize her to access the system. So the system may need multi-factor authentication to ensure that the system recognize the authenticity by the authentication metric or identification of the user or the access. So the last control is a keep password rule. Setting and security apply and document at a secure location with a strong access control mechanism. So this is an area that IT security need to emphasize whatever involve a documentation that present on a password rule, password setting, PIN, or root account setting. So we need to keep the document in a secure area or keep in a secure cabinet or fireproof. So this is just a control activity that we can prevent from the unauthorized person uh, in order to minimize the risk of the password compromise. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and share. Welcome back to the E-Managerial website. I'm Professor San. I wish to share with you what is a mitigating strategy or mitigating activity to reduce the risk of the web application attack. So I come up with some mitigation plan that we can reduce the attack surface on the web application. So if you are developing the web application, you need to understand what is the risk related matter or chance of the fraudster. So I have some mitigation control that we can protect from the malicious attacker. So number one is do not trust any content or parameter available coming from the web browser, and be sure to properly sanitize all input before using it. So meaning that you need to filter and you need to validate for all content that you are working with for the web browser, and ensure that all the parameter or all content or variant you need to verify before you apply into the production system. So the next is check all input by design, even is not directly visible to the user. It is the area or initiative that you need to focus at. So you need to check all input that you design in the business blueprint or the document. So the developer need to understand why we need to validate for all input activity to ensure that we can filter from malicious activities such injection process or hijacking activity. So this is the area that we need to validate properly. So the next is use a validation function provided by environment and avoid relying only to your own filter. So this is an area that we need to validate the function that you are currently using the environment and need to avoid any the own filtering process. So the next is you are use a development framework that provides some input filtering. Do not solely rely on it. So we need to measure, we need to address what is a suspicious activity, what is the different area that you need to identify. So when you quoting or you remark on the development framework, so you need to filter what concern area from the development process. So the next is keep your framework up to date with the security patch. It can be a target as well. This is the concern area that the system need to be up to date by the security patch. So the next is be aware of the information that reveal or echo by error message or page. This is we can say the error exception handling process. So the developer need to make sure that the catch or error need to be solved properly or need to mask the data in case of the destination path cannot identify the path or the link when browser access to that kind of link. So we need to mask the data or reroute the page or section to other area or other module. So the next is requiring re-authentication for the privilege operation is always a good idea. This is the area that the asset control family need to focus on the privilege operation that we need to remapping on the authentication matrix to identify what is a obsolete user or user right or privilege activity that apply need to know basis or need to access basis or need to have basis. So the next is keep the support list as privately. This may prevent the lag when vulnerability is reported to the team. Okay, and ARM to reduce the exposure of web application to avoid directly exposing into the site. So for example, like side-to-side across or whenever possible or required that user connect via the gateway system such as a Windows terminal service. So when you are using the web application, you need to take care note of security warning from the web browser. This is just a notice activity, and whenever possible, you should disable the JavaScript on the Flash ActiveX and also avoid following link to sensitive portal or page such as e-banking or payment page or remittance page that need to tie the URL by hand is possible. Whenever the feasible, log out as soon as possible and close the browser when the section is complete. And also use more secure HTTPS protocol instead of HTTP. This is just a common preventive control to mitigate the risk of the web application attack surface. So thank you so much for watching my video. Okay, welcome back to the E-Managerial website. I'm Professor San. Today I wish to share with you what is a control list, or we can say the control category that we need to identify for the IT department. So if you are working as an IT auditor or IT compliant, IT governance, and also IT risk management, so you need to go in deep what is a control type and what is activity, and what is the purpose of control that you need to identify and verify, and testing whether the control are properly work effectively and efficiently. So I define in the three major control. One is operation control, and the second is application control, and the third one is a security control, and the last one is called a physical control. So the operation control, we define is many, like backup control. But backup control we require to determine and communicate for all activity that involve with the sensitive and confidential of data and information on the organization, and need to be backup to ensure that we can recovery in case of the system failure or disruption or unavailability when the business faced with a crisis or disaster event. So the next is a recovery plan, or we can treat as a operation control. So the recovery plan we refer to the developed document and test recovery procedure that define and address to ensure that the application and information and infrastructure can be recovered using the backup created in the event of crisis. So the next is risk analysis. This is part of the operation control. The risk analysis purposely is to conduct the risk analysis to determine the level of exposure, to identify threat vulnerability and asset, and evaluate to identify the possible safeguard of control. The next is antivirus, or we can treat as the operation control also. One is ensure the LAN administrator install the corporate standard antivirus software on all computers. And the second is training and awareness of virus protection technique, and will be incorporated into the organization information protection program. So the next is interface dependency. It's a part of the operation control. This control purposely to fit information will be identified and communicate to operation to stress the impact of the functionality if the feeder application are unavailable. So the next control is maintenance control. Is a time requirement for technical maintenance will be tracked and required for judgment and validation will be communicated to management is experience warranted. And the next is a service level agreement. Is a part of operation control, purposely to acquire the service level agreement or operational level agreement to establish the level of customer expectation and the business user need and assurance from the supporting operation, and also acquire to maintain and supplier agreement to facilitate continued operational status of the application. So the next is a change management. Is a part of the operation control. The change management is purposely production migration control, such as a search and remove process to ensure that data stored are clean. So the next is a business impact analysis. This is a very important control to identify the formal business impact analysis will be conducted and determine the asset relative criticality with the other enterprise assets. So the next is a backup. Like a training for a backup to the system administrator will be provided, and UT rotate between them to ensure the adequacy of the training program. So the next is a formal employee security awareness program has been implemented and is up to date and presented to the employee at least one annual basis. So the next is a risk analysis, is to implement the user authentication mechanism such as a firewall, line control, secure ID to limit the access to authorized personnel. This is involved with the least privilege and to ensure that the privilege grant to the need to know basis, need to have basis, and need to access basis upon the standard of behavior. So the next is the application control. So the application control meaning that we rely on the system that we trigger on the security appliance. So the one is application control purposely to design, implement application control such as data entry, editing, checking, field acquiring, validation, alarm indicator, password expiration capability, checksum, to ensure the integrity of confidentiality and availability of the application information. The next is acceptance testing. We can say the UAT, user acceptance testing, meaning that we develop the testing procedure to be followed during application development and during the modification to existing application that include the user participation and acceptance. This control, we need to facilitate the requirement that the user acquire to enhance some module in the critical system to meet the business objective. So the IT project development team or project leader need to facilitate this area to ensure that we can provide the service delivery upon the business objective. So the next is training. So the training on the application control purposely to implement the user program designed to encourage the compliance with policy and procedure in place to ensure the appropriate utilization of the application. So the next is the application developer will provide the documentation, guidance, support to the operation staff in implementing mechanism to ensure that the transfer of the information between applications is secure. The next is a corrective strategy. The development team will develop the corrective strategy such as reverse progress, revive application login, something like that. So the next is a policy, is to develop the security control on the policy and procedure to limit the access and operating privilege to those with business needs. And the training is required to user training will include instruction and documentation on the proper use of the application. So the importance of maintaining the confidentiality of the user account, password, and confidential and competitive nature of the information will be stressed. So the next is a review of security control to implement mechanism to monitor, report, audit activity identified as requiring independent review, including periodic review of the user ID to ascertain and verify with the business need. So the next control is asset classification. The asset under the review will be classified using the enterprise policy standard procedure on asset classification. So the next is asset control. It's a popular control mechanism that risk management also emphasize on this particular control. Purposely to design and focus on the mechanism to protect the database against unauthorized access, and modification made from outside application will be determined and implemented. So the next is management support. We consider this control include as a management oversight on security control, to request management to support to ensure the cooperation and coordination of various business units. So the next is it means that data privacy, or we can say the uh, data ownership, and is to process are in place to ensure that the company can work with the data privacy or data protection as an asset owner, that we can protect that the company is in a compliant with all third-party license agreement. So the next is security awareness, to implement an asset control mechanism to prevent unauthorized access to information. This mechanism will include the possibility of detecting login and reporting attempt to break the security of this information. So the next is asset control that involved with the security control mechanism to implement the encryption, or we can say that adhere to the change management process, and also uh, measurable on the appropriate system log are reviewed timely by independent judgment or independent reviewer to ensure that the activity are fulfilled and fit to purpose. So the next is change management on security control. Backup requirement will be determined and communicated to the operation, including the request that electronic notification that backup were complete and to be sent to the application system administrator, and also operation will be required to test the backup procedure. This is an area that involved with a change process or change control under the security control. So the next is monitor system log. So normally the IT infra or person in charge or system owner or system operator, they need to develop, document, and test recovery procedure to be designed to ensure that the application information can be recovered using the backup created in the event of losses. So the last is physical security, to conduct a risk analysis to determine and measure the level of exposure, to identify the threat or vulnerability, to identify the possible safeguard and control. This is a control category that I come up that we can support the IT department. What is a control activity need to be oversight or need to be maintained and monitored as a regular basis. So the IT security or IT governance, they need to assess as a regular basis to ensure the control is up to date and can traceable. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and welcome back to the E-Managerial website. I'm Professor San. Today I wish to share with you what can we protect the sensitive data or confidential data or secret data. This is a very important area that the IT auditor or IT risk assessor or IT compliant, also IT assurance is to ensure that all data that organization need to protect and secure all the time, which involve with sensitive or confidential of the data. So this just the key component that involved with the confidential of data can caused by the removable storage management, such as plug and play device or optical drive or USB thumb drive, whatever involved with removable storage management. So the next is document management. So involved with the proxy management, involved with the file server, involved with the cloud storage, involved with the storage system, involved with a storage attachment system, something like that. So the next is device management. Device management also can cost to the data in case the device is not controlled properly. So the fraudulent device or malicious device can compromise the data easily if infrastructure was not strengthened. So the next can caused by the print management. It's called a printer. So sometimes a user need to print the document without pay attention to take the paper out after the printing complete. So sometimes staff can involve with the negligence or careless of the data print out. So the IT security need to manage the print server to identify which is the IP that involved with the printing activity, or also review the audit log from the print server. So involved with IM management, instant messenger. This is a critical area that can reach the data to the unauthorized people if the organization allow them to use the IM application. So the next is P2P program control. So this is a very critical that the organization allow the infrastructure to use the P2P protocol that can share from source to the destination without a proper control activity, without a security on the packet transmission from one network to other network. So this is a potential of a breach, a potential of malicious activity that fraudster commit to transform the data from one location to other location without a restriction. So the next is email management. Sometimes the mail server or mail content did not apply the data loss prevention program. So the malicious user or staff can send all confidential information or secret information on the organization, can lead to the unauthorized person via the content or attachment, or sometimes the hypertext in the email component. So if the email security was not adhered by the staff, so I think that this is most important that caused by data linkage to the unauthorized person or to the third party without getting a consent. So I will go through one by one what is data concern. We can say the what is a critical area or data that we need to address properly. So I just come up with 14 example on the data type that you need to consider as the sensitive information or confidential information. And also the next column is implication. What is a risk can go wrong? What is impact if you are not treat the sensitive data as a significant area? If you are the auditor, you need to identify properly what is a data can go wrong during the execution, during the usage from the business user or from the engineer. So I list down the 14 area. One is a password. This password very common risk that fraudster try to compromise or try to attack or try to penetrate into the system that the existing system have a vulnerability or have the virus. So the fraudster or malicious user try to use the attacking software or password cracking software to compromise the password. So this is an area that you need to protect involved with the password. So the next is a salary. The salary can be affect to the employee morality, or can be involved with demotivation, can be affect to the internal conflict among the staff and the staff, among the staff and line manager, among the staff with the organization. If the salary information reach to the unauthorized person, so it will cause to or internal conflict or cost to the regulatory breach, something like that. So the salary information you need to fully protect it and need to consider as the highly sensitive data or information on the organization. So the next is a customer list and contact. This is a very important that involved with the legality risk in case of the customer information leaked to the unauthorized person. So the customer can raise the dispute. So the organization will may take the legal liability to the application law of the country. So this is can cause to this disadvantage of the organization is the information leaked to unauthorized person. So the next is business strategic plan. Business strategic plan can also hurt the organization if the competitor acquire it. So this plan involved with the strategy, involved with the financial plan, involved with the mega project. A lot of plan that contain the information that involved with the financial, involved with plan, involved with strategy, involved with activity that organization need to execute as a plan. So we need to protect the sensitive information and confidential information. So the next is a privacy information. Privacy information we refer to the individual or group of individual that we need to protect their private from the unauthorized person to ensure that the data integrity breach can manage can measurable. So the number 6 is research and development activity. This is also involved with research and development. So IT security or data governance people need to consider this area as confidential information or sensitive information and need to restrict from unauthorized person or unauthorized access. So the number 7 is intelligence on competitor. So this information also involved with core activity that can compete to the competitor in case of the same product or same service. So the organization or data governance need to ensure that this area are fully comply with the regulatory requirement. So you need to protect the data from the unauthorized person or unauthorized access. So the next is a proprietary information. This is involved with the ownership of the data. So the organization need to restrict information as the need of the regulator or the need of the organization that can ensure that we can protect the data that involved with the ownership. So the IT security or data governance team need to restrict this area as the sensitive data or confidential data. So the number 9 is a trade secret. So involved with trade finance, involved with the movement of the trade record, involved with the customer condition or term and condition on the trade service. So the organization need to protect the data. So the document need to keep in a fireproof or locked area or the strong room to ensure that the data could not leak to the unauthorized person. So this is very important. So the number 10 is organizational alliance. This is related to the partnership or business partner. So we need to ensure that the activity to the other organization need to restrict of the access, and we need to protect the integrity of the data. So the number 11 is accounting and budget information. This is involved with the cost management, involved with the financial transaction, involved with costing that that the IT project need to work around with the finance department, or work with the project team, or work with the project sponsor or project owner, whatever involve the budget, involved with the costing. So the document that you are done so far, you need to protect properly from the unauthorized access. So the IT security and data governance team need to consider on this area as a sensitive data and need to protect on time. So the number 12 is a system configuration. This is very important that the IT security need to involve with the core configuration on a network device like a switch and router and firewall, and also the core system or core network or core server or something like that. So all configuration need to consider as sensitive information or confidential information, or need to document properly and lock in a secure area. So the number 13 is transaction processing. So this is involved with the e-commerce activity that the organization need to protect. For example, like internet banking or or payment or something like that. So the payment and transaction are involved with a commercial application or commercial transaction. So we consider as sensitive data or confidential data. So the IT security and data governance team need to protect this area as a sensitive data. So the last one is cryptographic key. This is involved with the encryption key or public key identification or token or pin, something involved with cryptography. So this area we also treat as sensitive data or confidential data that the IT security or data governance team need to consider this area as a very important area that need to protect from the unauthorized access. So this is just a diagram that I need to present you what can we encrypt the document from the all component of access. One is a copy control, the next is access time control. We measure what is the time of access, such as audit log or audit trail. So the next is a cycle or management, sorry, life cycle management. So we need to understand what is the nature of the document of access. So we need to understand what is a start point and end point, and what is involvement of the data and document. So the next is a change management. We need to control the change properly, like a major change or normal change, or uh, or, or emergency change, or change involved with the, 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 the requirement of the business. So we need to treat as the control activity to manage the data from the unauthorized person. So the next is a version management. We need to control what is a version, what is a different configuration, what is a different change. So we need to manage the version as a historical record. Let the authorized person need to measure what is a different activity and present in the document. The next is a print control that we need to control whatever from the business unit that print the sensitive data from the printer and did not take the paper out immediately after we concern after data and leach to the unauthorized person. So the last one is permission, read and write control. Is involved with the privilege setting, involved with the user right or access into the data. So this is just a mechanism that we need to put a lot of effort and initiative to ensure that the data that we use within the organization are fully secure and encrypt all the time. So this is just a high level that the IT auditor or IT risk assessor need to understand properly during the risk assessment on the confidential data or on the data integrity management. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and share. Okay, welcome back to the E-Managerial website. I am Professor San. Today I wish to share with you how can you address properly on the maximum terrible downtime on the disaster recovery plan after you conduct the business impact analysis. So this is a high-level perspective when you are involved with the disaster recovery exercise. So the project team need to understand the particular terminology and what is a maximum tolerable period of disruption and what is RPO and RTO and also WRT. Uh, so let's discuss one by one from the start point to the end point for the cycle of the disaster recovery timeline. So this is the one module under the BCM, Business Continuity Management, and one of the module is a very critical concern. Is called Disaster Recovery Plan (DRP). So in the DRP plan and procedure. So the engineer or project team or stakeholder that involved with the disaster recovery exercise, they need to understand about the RPO, recovery point object, RTO, recovery time object, MTD, maximum terrible downtime, and also WTR, it's called work recovery time. So from this area is called recovery point objective. The recovery point objective meaning that when the IT engineer perform the daily data backup or weekly data backup, they as perform as a daily basis. But unfortunately, the data loss on the certain period or certain date, so it's called disaster strike or disaster incurs. When the disaster on the critical system, so the disaster recovery team or BSM coordinator need to escalate to the channel of the crisis management area, like escalate to the recovery team, escalate to the crisis management committee to declare crisis in case of the system could not solve at the moment. So when the BSM coordinator or disaster recovery coordinator declare as a crisis, so it's called disaster incurs or disaster event. So when the disaster incur, so the BCP or DRP need to be activated immediately after declaration from the crisis management committee or the committee involved with the crisis. After the official announcement, so the system start to recovery. So it's called the recovery time objective. It's called RTO. So the RTO may be involved with the one is infrastructure recovery, relate to the connectivity, relate to the IP and subnet, relate to the manual switching based on the testing scenario or based on the scenario or the crisis that defined in the procedure. So the project team need to be aware and need to be activated up on the paper mentioned. After the infrastructure has been recovered completely, so we'll move to the next component is called application and data recovery. So we need to switch over to the other side in case of the production system could not available. So the infrastructure, application and data need to be recovered after the official announcement from the BSM coordinator or DR coordinator. So after the system recovery, so the final stage is in a test critical application. So they need to test based on a procedure and guideline, based on a test script, based on the deployment activity, and what is a person in charge, what is a timeline need to be executed, what expectation need to be done on time, and what is the accuracy measurement in case of the recovery timeline is not met with the policy or manual that describe for the requirement. So in this period is called recovery time objective. After the completeness of the testing, so the business uh, is being heard, or business uh, nearly heard on a challenge situation. So the customer can be complained, so the information can be exposed to the public, something like that. So this area is called work recovery time. So the project team need to be clear backlog in case of the previous data loss, so the some transaction pending. So on this particular period, the project team need to be a manual input on the outside system. This is a on-site system. When the on-site system not available, so after the recovery period is completeness, and we need to uh, import manually based on the volume of transaction. After the clear backlog process completeness, so the DR or BCM coordinator need to announce officially that the business can assume. So after the business can assume, the BCM team need to be review on the disaster recovery plan to be in hand, and need to come up with a post report whether the activity done up on the procedure described. This is a cycle of the business continuity and disaster recovery timeline. So the project team need to understand for every stage that get involved. So the key person need to understand the cycle of the MTD, maximum tolerable downtime, from the disaster event until the business resumes. So this is just a terminology that you need to understand what you need to improve from year to year, or from one SI to other SI. Is called RPO, recovery point object, and also RTO, recovery time object. So all systems that you are assessed in the business impact analysis period, so you need to address properly on the uptime of the system. What is a critical system can uptime until 99%. It means that near to the full HA function, near to the zero downtime. So 1 year you can downtime only 1 hour or half hour is maximum that the business can accept on the criteria or the reassessment result. So the system uptime, or we can say that acceptable on the downtime. So infrastructure and technology to be recovery need to be developed and need to be enhanced, the procedure, process, everything. So ensure that the system can switch over automatically and reduce the workload of the recovery timeline, so can support the business during the crisis period. So this is a strategy of the recovery process, can support the business to ensure the business can assume for any system disruption. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and share.